All right. So after how long of trying to get you to do another tier video, I finally got you back for another one.
What are we tiering? I hope it better be something fun and something that I would enjoy.
So we're tiering One Piece villains. I found that a lot of people cannot get enough of that. They love ranking One Piece villains.
Understand, like power scaling. I know all your videos are about that.
They're all about power scaling.
I love when they hit each other and one is better at it. I think it's really good.
Exactly, and that's, as we all know, that is exactly what One Piece is all about. But where we will not be ranking these villains on you know, how strong and how big and muscly they are. We will be ranking these villains specifically on sex appeal, because I feel like there's an untapped market in terms of the sexiness of like One Piece villains. For those who don't know, Sarah doesn't know anything about One Piece.
That's untrue.
She knows like maybe 2 things about One Piece. She knows Luffy silly, and she knows Chopper.
He's a reindeer. He has a pink hat.
So for those who don't know Sarah is
your Discord mod.
My Discord mod, my friend, a companion.
Oh.
We've had a beautiful child together called Scrungus.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot.
Mel's a terrible parent.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rank these. Like, okay, well, you know what? Actually, before we get into the ranking and before we talk about anything, I need to do a bit of a sponsor segment. So I'm sorry I have to kill you for like 60 seconds, Sarah. I hope that's okay.
Oh no, oh my goodness.
You'll be back in 60 seconds, I promise.
While we cannot all be pirates in our current day and age, we can still be pirates online, and we can do that safely with Atlas VPN. If you're not a tech nerd like me and have no idea what a VPN is, a VPN makes it so all your internet searches, browsing, and history is completely protected. It's sure to hide your IP address, and it keeps you safe from spying, especially from the pesky FBI agent in your computer who's watching you look up Zoro's big fat boobies as we speak. But Atlas VPN isn't just a VPN, it also protects you from pop-up ads and malicious malware. It can also give you access to any country's version of Netflix or Disney+. I mentioned Disney+ specifically because did you guys know that the entirety of Bleach is on Australian Disney+? And with Atlas, you, yes, you, can take advantage of Atlas's summer deal discount. You can get a 3-year subscription from $1.83 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Even better than that, if you use my link in the description below, you get an 85% discount for premium subscription. Snatch that deal while it's hot, and thank you so much Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. I won't let you down. Let's get back into the tier ranking video, the tier list. So how this is going to work is, Sarah knows, like I said, virtually nothing about One Piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Can I actually just bring up a point?
Yeah, what's your point?
You keep saying, I know nothing about One Piece.
I said virtually nothing.
Do you have a PhD in One Piece?
I've got a, No, I don't. I don't have a retort for that. Fuck.
Thank you. Point made. Continue.
So, what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce everything I can think of about these villains to Sarah. And listen, there's a lot of guys. I have not included every villain. I've included main villains from main arcs, and I've included some villains that perhaps are not from main arcs, but are like pretty significant in their own right. And I have to like state this outright because I know people are going to be upset that their boy wasn't like included in this, and they're going to go, where's my boy? Where's my funny little man? He's not going to be in this. Some people will not be in this. I'm sorry. One Piece is too big and scary, and Sarah and I do not have the brain capacity for that many boys.
If they were girls, though, I'm just saying.
In saying that, I've included some villains that people are going to be like, why the fuck, why are they in this? But, you know, that's life. That happens. All right. So our tier list, of course, is from S to F. And remember, this is a sex appeal ranking, so this is how appealing they are to you and to me. This is not a general overall ranking, of course. We are not talking about you, dear viewer, and your appeal.
Might discover something about ourselves.
So, are you ready for the first boy?
Go, hit me.
All right. Here is our first guy. So, I think you know of this man. Have you seen this man?
His name is...
Do you know this man?
His name is Buggy.
This man, this clown, Buggy D Clown, infamous, stunning, just legendary. This bad bitch was introduced in like the single digit chapters of One Piece. So he's been around. Everyone knows him. He's a staple for One Piece at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to know that his entire crew, circus people.
Right.
He's got like a first mate on a unicycle and another first mate that has a giant lion, and the whole like bit of Buggy, because I think, you know, we have to take in, I think, personality for sex appeal, right? Like that's a big part of it.
That's huge.
The whole bit of Buggy is he fails upwards constantly. So he currently, so let me show you what he looks like in the time skip, right?
Right.
So like this is 2 years later. This is him.
He's gotten larger.
Because his power is he can detach his body apart, like anywhere. He can just detach any part of his body and make it fly to the heavens, but his feet must always stay on the ground. So what he's doing is he's wearing a huge like tent-like outfit, and he's just expanding his body parts to make himself look huge. Because our king is insecure about his like power. He knows he's not the most powerful, but somehow he has found himself as not only a warlord, which is a huge title, he's somehow also now, in our current day, found himself as an emperor of the sea with 3 other huge pirates. So basically the whole thing is, he's not very powerful, but somehow he keeps failing upwards, and he doesn't fucking know how we got here. But he's here, and he's scared, and he has to face big, powerful people, and he gets beaten up all the time. But this is where he is now.
So after your big important speech about his self-worth and stuff like that, I have a few questions. Number one, and these are cool, so answer them seriously. Number one, if I like pinched his nose, would it go wah, wah, like would it make the noise like squeaky?
Well, we're not meant to talk about his nose because he's very self-conscious about it, so that's actually really rude of you to say, I think, to even bring that up.
And that really puts him down in my books because
that's a real nose. That's his real nose, Sarah. I forgot to mention that.
If I squeeze his real nose, does it go wah, wah? That's sexy to me. Answer the question.
Well, I don't know. It's never been considered. Does your fucking nose go wah, if you pinch your nose?
I don't know. I'll try it right now.
It does not go wah, you lying bitch. One other thing I need to mention before we do our ranking. See like the tussles on his hat there on like either side?
Yeah.
That's his hair. That's not part of the hat.
Yeah, no,
Those
he's
are
got
ponytails.
like Hatsune Miku pigtails. See, that puts him up, but him being insecure about his nose and not letting me know whether it goes wah when you squeeze it is a point down.
You're not a fan of an insecure man?
Not when you're a clown.
Well, he's not like a clown by choice. He was born with a clown nose.
And
which is such a wild thing to say. Forcibly designated a clown.
at So his backstory, he's a clown, and he ate one of those fruits and became an expanding
by
clown.
accident.
By accident.
He accidentally ate a fruit because he was stupid about it, and he's got like a frenemy that he like absolutely hates, which is Shanks. I don't know if you know him. He's not very important. No one really knows Shanks.
Okay. I feel like I vaguely heard that one.
I'm gonna get murdered on the spot. Yeah, he's like Luffy's man mentor and whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, he accidentally ate like a fruit because of his frenemy scaring him while he had the fruit in his mouth. It's a long story. Buggy's got a bit of a history.
Okay, no, that puts him up in my books.
Because he ate a fruit on accident.
Yeah. Have you not ever done that? That's relatable. And I can kind of understand why he's insecure after doing that. Because one time I ate pineapple and then found out I was allergic to it. And like, that was an accident as well.
You know what? I'll let you have that one. I'll let you rank him first. So what are you going to give him?
Honestly, no offense to Mr. Buggy the Clown. Not a good start. He's not gotten better with age.
He's not gotten better with age.
He hasn't got the Hatsune Miku pigtails anymore.
Yeah, but he's got long blue hair.
Oh, put the pigtails in the photo.
I'm not putting the pigtails. I'm not putting the pigtails in the damn photo.
Well, if you're not putting them in, then he's not going to be a high ranking.
They're
that
in
was
the
a
photo.
massive redeemable
Just
point.
use your imagination, which you do not have.
I don't have a visual memory.
What's he in, and why are you putting him in there?
He's getting a D tier. He's in D.
A what?
D.
A D. Wow.
His nose doesn't go wah, wah, apparently.
Well,
we don't know. You haven't put the pigtails in the photo, and I don't have a visual memory, so I can't imagine the pigtails. So now I'm like struggling to remember if the pigtails even exist or if they were a figment of something.
I need you to know, a lot of like One Piece fans go buck wild crazy for this clown. Like insanely crazy for this clown. He has an audience of thirsty people. So I am going to advise you to not ever give out your location because you will be hunted down for this opinion.
What city do you live in, Mel? It's wherever Mel is.
For me, I'm putting him in B.
Okay.
Because I'm not a clown fan. I'm not a clown fucker. Like, that's a thing. It's not really for me.
That's what they start with, isn't it? That's what everyone says when they actually are.
However, his like blue hair Hatsune Miku moment, that's gorgeous. I love that he does not cut his hair. He's got beautiful blue hair, but apart from that, doesn't really do it for me. But I do like me a pathetic, sad man who just doesn't understand how he got where he is, and he's insanely scared of where he currently is. The sex appeal of that to me, through the roof. I'm a big fan of that.
It's sad that Sanji isn't a villain, isn't it?
For me, Buggy is in B.
B for Buggy.
B for Buggy.
D isn't bad for me. You'll see that I'm a harsh critiquer.
All right, are we ready for the next man?
Give me him.
So, there he is.
Oh, I felt something visceral.
Have you ever seen this guy before?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry, let me get comfy.
Yeah, I need to know about this one.
This man's name is Arlong. I realized I didn't tell you what Buggy actually had done to be a villain. He wasn't really a villain.
Right.
Arlong, however, is...
Tell me about this sexy beast.
So Arlong is a fishman. In the world of One Piece, fishmen are seen as a lesser race. So fishmen are like put below, you know, human beings.
So they're like the Kens of the One Piece universe.
They're kind of like the Kens, but they get absolutely no respect. The world is not nice to them in any capacity. The thing with Arlong is he's awful. He's really fucking awful. So he enslaved Nami's village. You know Nami, of course, when Nami was a little girl. If you couldn't pay the life tax, you get killed on the spot.
Isn't that just like normal taxes in real life?
Basically subdued Nami to like a life of like torture and enslavement ever since she was 10 years old. Oh, and I forgot his fighting style. He doesn't have a devil fruit or anything. He's just a fisherman. And his fighting style, and this is like one of my favorite things ever. See those things that he's holding?
Are those clams? Or
those are his teeth. So the whole thing is he's a sharkman. Like he's a shark fishman, right? So the whole thing is he can take his own teeth out and they immediately grow back because that's what sharks do. They just grow their teeth back. And I think that was the funniest thing ever. And honestly, I think that like we need to consider this, you know, his sex appeal, I think. His personality, yucky disgusting, you know? Absolutely yucky disgusting. However, his appearance, I am not going to lie, I kind of really dig it. I kind of very much enjoy his physical attributes.
He's
in
hot.
terms of,
I don't know how to. He's hot. I love his sense of fashion. I love the little chain he's got. I love that he can take his teeth out and use them as weapons, and then the teeth in his mouth regrow back. If you had a teeth, like you're into teeth, you know, like some people are, like dentists and stuff, they would love that.
He's unfortunately incredibly physically attractive to me. To us. We might just be freaks, right? I'm all for his physical traits. Do you have any questions for me before we rank this man?
So I guess, does he have a crew, or is he just a guy?
He's got a crew. He's got a crew of all fishermen.
Because that's important, I think. You know, you love a guy that is a good team player, and would score well in a job interview.
He's like half a team player. I don't know how to explain his story. I've honestly skipped a lot of his story because it's like, look, we don't need to get into the complications of him. He's like only a team player if you agree to him completely.
I feel like he's very much Ken. Like this guy, he's bringing in life tax. Ken brought in patriarchy. So is this sex appeal based on like a long-term romantic partner?
The sex appeal is whatever you want it to mean.
Because like one night stand with this man, would I be in fear of my life? Yeah. But I think it would be really good. And he could get his teeth out and stuff.
That's an awful visual image. I know you do not have an imagination brain, but to those of us who do, that's a really awful visual imagery that you've just put into my head.
I think I'm going to put him, he's going to go in B.
B? That's very generous. Over Buggy.
Like, I think he's very attractive. And I know he's got a bad personality, but I'm willing to look past it for a one night stand if I'm still alive by the end of it.
He's a bit of a difficult one. I think I'll put him in C. I like him.
Balanced.
Physically, I like him. I think he's very physically attractive. He's a bit too nasty, icky for me. Just a bit too much. He's like a hit it and quit it kind of guy, you know? All right, are you ready for the next one?
Yes, hit me.
We'll see what you have to say. So here he is.
Oh my god, his mouth is huge. Is he gonna eat Luffy? That's Luffy's little head.
His devil fruit is quite literally vor. I wish I were joking. His devil fruit is he can eat anything and everything and then transform into the thing he has eaten. So the first time we meet this man, he literally tries to eat Luffy and is unable to because Luffy is Gumu Gumu. So he was the antagonist of Chopper's arc. He was the villain. The whole thing with this guy, so his name's Wapol. I didn't even give you his name. His name is Wapol. And the whole thing with him that makes me so goddamn upset is he gets bitches. Canonically, he has gotten bitches. That lady next to him, that's his girl.
So my first question is, so he transforms into what he eats, right?
Yes.
Does he like look like it and stuff?
So like he had a house or something, and he turned into like a physical house shape, but his face is still there and like his body's still a body.
So like if he ate, like just hypothetically, if he ate Angelina Jolie when she was in Tomb Raider.
He's eaten people before and they basically just become like a face on him.
So important question. Did he consider Chopper a doctor?
No, he did not, because Chopper was a monster at the time.
Right, I know what I'm ranking.
All right. Where's he going, bestie? F. Yep.
So, numerous reasons. So, number one is that I was hoping that you would say yes, he would just become Angelina Jolie from Tomb Raider. And if so, it would have been an S, obviously. And also then the mistreatment of Chopper, because like I said, Chopper doesn't need to have any medical training to be a medical doctor.
I think it's more like, it's not like he didn't consider Chopper a doctor. It's just that Chopper was a reindeer with hooves that no one knew was a doctor at the time. No, I agree. I fully agree with you. He's, for me as well, he's going an F. I don't like that he canonically gets bitches. He's got like a little cover story where like he makes toys for kids or something. But it's like, I can't forgive it. I don't care what he does.
He's like, what's that celebrity? Arnie Hammer. He's the Arnie Hammer of the
You mean Army Hammer?
Army Hammer? Arnie Hammer? I don't know what
Army. I'm pretty sure it's Army because I remember being like, that is the fucking rawest name I've ever heard in man.
He's that.
We're like about to get into the notably like
Sexy ones, yeah.
sexies. Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
get ready. Next one coming up. Are you ready?
Let's go.
As you can see, his name is Crocodile.
Is he Aussie? Is he Aussie?
He's not Aussie. He's dressed like an Italian gang leader.
And you know where a lot of Italian gang people ended up?
Yeah, it's either New York or Australia. There's like, it's one of those. Look, people will kill me if I don't show his, because like this is not a flattering angle for a lot of people.
I mean, it's flattering to me. I love a thick-necked man.
There you go.
Oh!
Your reaction is a reaction of many people. Many people love this man. Let me get into the nitty gritty of the things he's done. He has a devil fruit. Can you guess what his devil fruit is?
Crocodile.
His devil fruit is sand. So he's a sandy boy.
So he's like that Spider-Man villain.
Guess how Luffy beats him? Luffy gets Crocodile wet to beat him.
Okay.
He just splashes some water on him. Crocodile is untouchable until just, you know, gets hit with the fucking super soaker. The reason Crocodile's a villain is because he basically created like a crime syndicate called Baroque Works and wanted to take over an entire country by basically having a civil war break out where he could become the hero.
So like pretty normal politics then.
Yeah, pretty normal politics. Pretty normal for an you know, a mob boss, I'd say. He started off as a bit of an icky sticky guy, but he comes back as an ally because he wants to get out of jail.
Yeah, I love people that support gay rights.
I mean, funny you say that because there's a lot of speculation that he actually might be trans. So you might not be wrong that he is an ally because he's probably part of the team.
So I guess there's a few things here. So
real quick before you ask your questions, because this is very important. So remember how I said water is like a weakness to him?
Mm-hmm.
Here is a canonically drawn image of Crocodile looking after a pug in the rain.
Oh, okay. This is where like the sex appeal becomes long term, you know? Like where you're like, this is going to be a burning flame for like at least 7 years before I get a divorce.
He's a bit, you know, he's not morally correct, right? But he does love animals and he is very attractive, and it's like, I understand completely where the appeal comes from with this man. I truly do. So in saying all that, what are your questions? Hit me with them.
So my first question, but I actually think this photo's answered it, was can he shower?
I don't think he needs to. I think he's like a chinchilla. You know how chinchillas clean in dust?
Yeah, but like chinchillas don't have really greasy looking hair gel.
I think my issue is, you know how when you go to a beach and when you come back from the beach, you now have sand in like your bag and your clothes and your hair for like a week after that?
Yeah.
I would be covered in sand every time I see him.
You're an Australian.
Do you think we all just live on the beach 24/7?
Yes.
I think he's got the attractiveness, but I don't think he's got, you know, the game. You know what I mean?
I can rank him. I've got it. So my ranking is going to be an A. I don't think he's quite S tier because I'm still unconvinced that he would be a bit stinky.
All right, I can respect that. For me, I'd say B, and the B stands for baby girl because I think he's got a cute factor. He's got the gap mower factor, you know. Kind of did yucky things, and of course these are villains. The yucky things aside, I just can't get past the sand. I do not find sand sexy. I'm sorry.
I feel like you're actually traumatized by being an Australian, brought up in Australia that's had to be in the sand a lot.
Sand is not sexy. Sand is annoying and it gets everywhere. I don't want to be, you know, fucking Anakin from whatever Star Wars movie it is, but that's how I feel. It's coarse, it's grainy, and it gets everywhere. I hate that shit.
I think as a Brit, obviously we don't have the sun and therefore we don't have sand, beaches. I think I'd like the sand.
Okay, this one I'm so excited to talk about. Are you ready? This is starting with an unflattering picture, but here he is.
Is that unflattering?
Let me show you an anime picture of him.
Oh,
this man's name is Enel. The whole thing with him, I need to explain all of this before I get to the punchline. The whole thing with him is he's eaten a devil fruit as well. He powers lightning, electricity. He's like very powerful. The whole thing with him is he's a bit of a colonizer. Which bit of an L.
That's a kind of that's a similarity me and him have though. So
shut the fuck up. British. He basically overtook like something called Skypiea, which is like a sky island, and he turned himself into a god. So he has like a god complex. He was a dictator. And he was a very yucky, disgusting dictator because I don't think there's such a thing as a good dictator somehow. But this is what gets me so goddamn bad. Guess who he's based off and modeled off and inspired off?
Dumbo. I don't know.
Dumbo's not a real person for one.
You don't know that. Have you met him?
He's inspired off Eminem.
Okay, yeah, immediately, yes.
Oda has got to be taking the fucking piss because who else to give a narcissistic god complex to? Basically, Luffy beat Enel because Luffy's made of Gumu Gumu, you know, he's made of rubber. Rubber does not conduct electricity or lightning, and no one has ever been able to withstand Enel's attacks before, and the whole like kicker with him and the whole meme is this is the face he made when Luffy just stood there. Do you know that one SpongeBob meme where SpongeBob is like angry and yelling and he's got like that OMG face on and he's like screaming? That's his fucking face. That's his face on SpongeBob. I only found this out like recently and it pissed me off because I hate that One Piece is everywhere even before I knew of the concept of One Piece. He's one of those guys that like he's on a high horse, but if you like stand up to him and it works, he just crumbles.
I'm unsure about this one. Maybe he's just not my type, you know? Because all I can see is him spinning around in a circle and his ears just like a helicopter.
He like comes up from the water and does the hair whip. And it's just his ears.
I think he's going to go with Buggy.
He's going to go on D? Right.
He's got a sexy body, but I'm just thinking about him being a Beyblade with his ears.
For me, he's going into D.
Wait, our first agreement.
Like, I agree, he's got the body, but his personality is like, you know, he's got the Sigma male personality, not in like the positive way that some men use it, but in the way that it's like, he looks so just like he's made of glass, in my opinion.
Yeah, also if we all wore like rubber boots or something, we wouldn't be able to beat you.
Alright, are you ready for the next one?
Hit me with the next one. Better be better than this guy.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Some people are gonna be mad at me.
not
Some
this
people are
image.
Some people are gonna be mad at me for including this guy, but I think I needed to include him. Are you fucking ready for this?
Is it because it's me we're doing this? Is this a Sarah special? What's this?
No, this is more like I needed to include him because I will not let him be forgotten. Here he comes.
Ooh.
This man's name is Foxy. Here's an anime image of him.
Even better.
So his whole thing is he's a pirate captain. He's eating a devil fruit. His devil fruit is like a slow fruit, meaning he can hit you with like slow-mo beams and it turns you slow motion for 30 seconds.
So he could prolong activities out.
I mean, I assume there's a limit because it would take up a lot of his...
Well, I'll meet him and find out.
I think... So the way that he works is the way he got his crew is he plays a game called Davy Back. And the Davy Back game is basically you challenge this other crew, like this other pirate crew to a range of games. The captain of the crew that won the game gets to pick a member from the other crew and they are now your crewmate. I know this is going to be... This actually, you might... I don't know if this is going to be like an L or a win. He won the first game against the Straw Hat Pirates and he took Chopper. Immediately he took Chopper.
That's a huge W. What do you mean I don't know if it's going to be an L or a W?
That's a
He
win.
knows what he wants. And he wants the best.
The reason it's an L is because Chopper was big sad about it. He made Chopper cry.
Chopper just didn't appreciate what he got. It's like when you bring a little pet home, right? And they like don't like it.
Okay, Chopper is a human being. Like physically he's not fantastic. However, when it comes to him, I have got to respect the grind. I think it's really amazing that he built, like his crew is massive. It is huge. He puts on a whole festival whenever he does the Davy Back fight. Like this man understands presentation. He's a little bit dirty, but I gotta respect the grind. I gotta respect the hustle. And he does get bitches.
My first question, how old is he? Do we know?
I don't know. I can probably Google it, but I never thought about it.
But it would be sexier if he had some grey streaks in there, you know? And he just doesn't have any, so he can't be that old. I like him. I can understand. Like, I get the appeal.
He's the most powerful bitch out there. He's gotten a whole crew just by playing silly little games.
For real, you're like, oh, gambling isn't a fighting skill. Zoro could beat him with his mouth sword. I think you know where I'm going to put him now, Mel. So unless you have any other comments, give me Foxy. This is my first S tier.
Your first S tier, Foxy.
Because I just enjoy him. Like he's having a good time. He's addicted to gambling and bitches, and I feel like a lot of people respect that.
Gambling and bitches is pretty essential to our modern day, I think. I get what you mean, yeah. Look, I think he's got that grind set, you know? I think he's got that alpha male grind set, but I'm afraid his physical appearance just makes him fall a little bit flat for me. He's not my type in terms of that, so I gotta put him in C.
I think his physical appearance isn't that bad. like at all. I'm like...
He's got the body of a fucking, like, Oompa Loompa.
And?
So this next guy, he's a big favorite. Lucci.
Ooh. Is it the person or the bird?
The person. He's the person. Let me show you an anime version of him.
His bird just gets better and better, man.
Take into account the bird is drinking scotch with him, which is the funniest fucking thing ever. He's a government agent. He's like a government assassin. He's very skilled in fighting and like espionage and all that kind of shit.
Tell me about the bird.
I will, give me a sec. He went undercover as a shipwright. The way he went undercover is he pretended he was mute and he mimed through the bird to talk for him. This is meant to be a serious like assassin. He had absolutely no reason to mime through the bird, yet he chose to mime through his pigeon anyway.
So, do you think if you're in a relationship with, what's he called?
Lucci. He's Italian as well. Win or loss, actually.
So, if you were in a relationship with Lucci, do you reckon he would let you, like, is he protective over the bird?
I don't think he'd let you touch his bird.
What if I really wanted to touch his bird?
I think he'd kill you. I think the bird is not allowed to be touched.
Okay, I've got my ranking.
Hang on, wait. I have not added something. He has a devil fruit.
Talking through bird fruit.
That's just a him special. That's just something he can just do naturally. His fruit is this.
Okay, I'm glad you showed me that, actually.
Exactly. Does that not add Does that not add something?
That's elevated him, actually. So, like, has he always had the bird since he was a kid? So I'm very interested.
The bird? I actually don't know when he got the bird. I don't remember seeing the bird in his flashback. He loves his bird. As you can see, he gave the bird a little coat and a little tie.
They're matching. Italian people, they love birds. So I think the thing to consider here, and I feel like even if it was just a one night thing or whatever, they are a package deal. And whether you're happy with the bird watching...
The bird has to watch. That is indeed. Yeah. Also, from what we know, this bird is like sentient. Like this bird like understands things.
There's a lot to consider, I think. But he's still definitely, I think, A tier. I feel like I have some reservations.
For me, ever since you brought up the bird debacle about them being a package deal, I gotta put him in D.
Why?
Because I can't.
And I know that you just like looking at birds.
I love, but this is like a human sentient bird. I cannot, in good faith, it's like having like a third person with you. I cannot.
You don't want to be a throuple.
Like, he's got sex appeal. But I'm thinking of the long run here. The bird being part of this and having to watch.
You don't want to traumatize a bird.
I'd have to put him in D. I can't do it with the bird being an addition to the... All right. This guy.
Oh my god, he's so large.
His name is Gecko Moria. And this is him in the anime and his whole body. He... has a huge ship, like a massive ship the size of a small island called
I thought you were going to say something else.
Stop it.
He's got a huge set of scissors.
Also, I love this image because it looks like he's like offering me like this thing. He has like a zombie crew. His devil fruit, because he has a devil fruit as they all do, is he can take the shadows of people, and the people whose shadows were stolen, if they see the sunlight, they just die. He's a bit insane. He's meant to be like a mad scientist character. And I feel like before we continue on, this is what he looked like when he was young.
He's like a little goth.
So do you have any questions?
I like the aesthetic he's got going on. I think I know where I'm going to put him. He's going to go in C. He's just in the middle. If he was still looking how he looked when he was young, though, he'd be an A.
For me, I gotta put him in E. Like, I respect...
You're really harsh on these guys.
Are we on to the next one?
Yep.
Now,
Ooh.
This one I need to explain. There were many villains, I'll say. So I know people are going to be upset about why... Because there's like two guys beside him. Do you see that? I know people are going to be upset for why I didn't include those two. Because it's just too many.
The power scale is going to disagree with you.
The power scale is fucking... like, they don't love him, but good lord, do they go crazy for him. He's like the head of the Navy of the Marines. He's like the top of the Marines, basically. This man is essentially a walking volcano. His devil fruit that he has is magma.
Oh, I like that.
He killed... Luffy's brother Ace. He turned him into a donut. He blew his back out, basically. But if you talk about power scaling, you just got people going, oh my god, holy fuck, he can punch people just... And a lot of people go crazy. It's not just power scalers. A lot of people are attracted to him. I'll accept he's a dilf, but he looks so unfun.
No, I disagree immediately. Look at his fit. Okay, as someone that knows nothing about his personality, loves his fit, thinks he's gorgeous, love that he's repping his faction, the Marines, like a football fan, that's cute. I am going to break him. Give me the ranking list. That's an S tier man. I love his
S! No fucking
He's an S.
way. You're saying this just to piss me off. He's just, for me, he's going an E. He's going an E. He's not quite an F, but because he's very visually appealing.
I just don't think you're attracted to villains.
I'm attracted to villains, just not this one.
Look at the top two tiers.
But that's because one of them is made out of sand, and the other one's a clown, and I'm simply not into clowns. And one of them has a bird that would have to watch everything we do. All right. Next one.
Hit me.
This man's name, Hody Jones.
I like his hat.
He is also a fisherman. However, instead of taking his rage out on humans like Arlong did, he started like a civil war, like infight with like the other fishermen.
Oh, goodness.
Like, he's got two forms, right? So he's got this one. It's a long story. He takes a bunch of drugs and then he looks like this. There's a lot of appeal here.
He's gorgeous.
But here's the thing. The stuff he takes by the end do eventually kind of kill him. Like, he gets super old.
So it's not even, I don't even have to be committed to this relationship. Like, I can just hit it and quit.
This is a one-time deal. So you can either have this or you have this, and then he just die.
I kind of like that.
He came, he served cunt, and he died.
Like, he's just stunning. And, like, knowing that, like, he could be with me and, like, when he's with me could be the moment he dies. Like, it really elevates it.
Where's he going?
S, obviously.
A lot of people either don't remember or don't like him. I like him.
Where's he going, Mel?
He's gone an A for me.
Ooh.
Apart from his insane anger issues, I'm a fan. I understand why he had followers. Are you ready for the next guy?
Let's go.
Caesar Clown.
Gas, gas, gas.
Let me show you his anime form.
Ooh.
I was like in a crisis with this guy because I cannot decide if he's attractive or not.
He is. Is there something wrong with me? Why am I finding all of these villains wrong?
This is just what a One Piece fan is like, Sarah. Welcome to the realm. Modern day Caesar Clown. He's kidnapped a bunch of children and he's trying to figure out how to make these kids giant because law stuff. And he's basically drugged all these kids. But he's got such an 80s moment going on here with like his jumpsuit.
And there's something very slay about him also. If me and him were like together, he seemed like the type that would get distracted by science, like and mansplain science to me. He's also gonna go in C tier. He's physically attractive, but not super special compared to some of the others. And I just don't think I could fix him.
Right. For me, he's going into A.
You love a toxic man. Let's go.
He's literally toxic. Like, literally toxic. I've seen the way he gets beaten up. I've seen the way he complains and cries. He's a little bit pathetic. I don't want to fix these guys, you know?
You want to make them worse.
I want to make them worse.
Oh god, I can see the little picture of the next person. The name.
Here he comes. The man who needs absolutely no introduction, Doflamingo Don Quixote. He's vile and stinky and yucky and disgusting and foul and wicked and just every dastardly thing you can think of under the goddamn sun. He's one of the funniest, most entertaining villains One Piece has, in my opinion.
See, the problem I have with this Doflamingo character is that
Doflamingo.
Mr. Flamingo. The problem I have with him is that I have been exposed more to photos of you cosplaying him than I have to actually him. So it's making me think genuinely one of the most rancid, vile, unfunny, uncool.
Okay, I need to show you his anime photo. This is a photo I really love. Like, this is probably how big you are in comparison. Doflamingo's a huge guy. If we were to look up, you'd get nothing but just man boob. Nothing but absolute juice in your face.
He's just, like, he's kind of the definition of the word majestic.
I'm gonna butcher his backstory, but this man was basically born in, like, the Holy Lands. And by that I mean he was born in, like, the super rich, like the 0.001%. And his dad basically decided, I don't want to live here anymore because this doesn't feel human. Doffy, there's multiple reasons why this upset Doffy, but Doffy was pissed that his dad basically made them upper middle class. He did get like semi-tortured a little bit by the common person, considering he was of like a people that literally enslaved the world. So he shot his blood brother like 8 times.
Respectable.
He's a master manipulator. He's the definition of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. He canonically gets bitches. Again, unhappy about that. I do not like that he canonically gets bitches. Like, he's essentially a cult leader. You unfortunately need charisma to be a cult leader. I have no doubt that his charisma would indeed work on me, either because he'd just get me mentally, or he'd scare the shit out of me. Do you have any questions for me?
I know all I need to know. There's this nice spot for him in E.
Why E? Explain yourself.
As you know, I am someone who very much thinks too highly of my mental stability, and thus I don't think I would get indoctrinated into the Doflamingo cult. So for the drip, I'm giving him a point, so he's not an F.
This is a tough one. Okay, for me, he's gone into A. He's so yucky and so disgusting, but god damn it, he's funny. He's like someone you want to put in a cage and watch like run on a hamster wheel. I want to watch him. All right, are you ready for the next one?
Hit me.
This one's interesting.
Oh,
Have you ever seen this man before?
I don't think so.
That's wow, I cannot believe I've never slapped you on the face with this man. His name is Judge. Full name is Judge Vinsmoke.
Wait, Vin Smoke.
Vinsmoke.
I knew that. I know this one. I've heard it in a dream. That's the blonde guy's relative.
The blonde guy.
Sanji's.
It's Sanji's biological dad.
How did Sanji turn out so different?
Because his wife was hot.
Oh, okay.
He's a king of the Vinsmoke Kingdom. He biologically enhanced his own children. Basically, this man, he abused his wife. He forcefully injected her when she was pregnant with this chemical to fuck up the kids.
Great. I'm sure she doesn't feel crippling depression.
Oh, she's dead. He was so ashamed of Sanji that he imprisoned Sanji for eternity under the castle in a dungeon.
What?
Sanji got out after 6 months, but he was in that dungeon for 6 months as like an 8-year-old.
What the hell, dude? Like, genuinely.
Physically, he's a dilf. I get it. I totally get it.
A dilf?
However, I'd like to show you. You know how I said he worked with Caesar? This is recent. And they got married.
Oh! German 66. I can't believe German was the pastor at their wedding.
So he met up with his old buddy again and they became an alliance. Allies, if you will.
He low-key looks like, you know that wide Captain America meme?
The one where he's like turned to the side?
Yeah.
I think that's a bonus.
Pro number 1 for his sex appeal is that he doesn't seem to like children. And I don't either, so we've got that in common.
Bro, he didn't even let Sanji grieve over his wife dying. He said, stop crying, gay boy. Stop grieving over your dead mum.
Obviously, the hair is a massive pro. The thing is, if I wasn't involved in his schemes, then would I care? So I'm thinking he's going to go in E.
For me, can't believe this, also E. We agree yet again. He screams incel, this man. The only reason he's an E is because he's got beautiful golden locks.
Yeah, like, for whatever reason, his hair care routine just it goes so hard, man.
Like, we know where Sanji gets, like, his strong blonde locks from, you know? All right. Are you ready for the next guy? Next woman, I should say. Are you ready for the next gal?
I'm so excited.
Big Mom. She...
I love her.
Girl bosses.
I love her style.
She's kind of awful.
I love her. What? I love her.
She loves food. She loves sweet little treats.
Do you know who else loves sweet little treats?
Me. She's got a devil fruit. Her devil fruit is she can take people's souls. She has a family of like over 80 kids or something, and that's her crew.
So that's why she's Big Mom.
She's Big Mom, baby. She basically gets men, uses them, kicks them out.
I respect the grind and the hustle.
She also abuses her kids, but
Oh.
she's a girl boss, but she's also kind of quite literally a slay queen.
So I have a few thoughts about Big Mom. So number 1, absolutely love her aesthetic appearance. I do have a few things that I think could detract. So number 1, it seems like she only... I can't impregnate her.
I cannot impregnate her. we do have to take that into consideration. She probably would not be interested unless you can give her a kid.
So yeah, so you can see I'm kind of having like an internal debate about Big Mom. Okay, I think I've got a score for her. She's going in B. Absolutely love her aesthetic, but I just don't think I could be enough for her.
Sad. Like, she's got the appeal, just we cannot be enough.
We don't. And sometimes you have to take that into account. Sometimes it's a two-way street.
Okay, I'm putting her an S. Let me explain. I cannot pass up a pink-haired character. It's impossible for me. She's beautiful and she's pink. She's a little bit evil. I gotta respect just a fucked up lady, you know? I think I could fix her. I think I could fix. We're on the second last one, by the way, coming up.
Show me the person.
Here he is. Once again, huge. So his name is Kaido. That's his name. So he's a pirate emperor. So him and Big Mom are both pirate emperors, I forgot to say. The whole thing with Kaido is he was like a big pirate back in the day. He wanted to be the pirate king, etc., etc. The other thing with Kaido is he's just insanely strong. So like no one could beat him, and he basically was on like an empty throne.
Suffering from success.
Literally suffering from success. And he tried to kill himself multiple times. But he's such a fucking tank that all his attempts never work. His devil fruit is dragon. Here's one of his forms. Claws, horns, scales, teeth. Like, he's got it all. However, here's his third form.
Dragon.
I don't know about you, but it's a personal dream of mine to have a girlfriend specifically that can morph into a beautiful big dragon. Kaido just kind of ticks a box for me. He gets drunk and he cries. That's beautiful.
So he's got that pathetic kind of streak that you love. So I think the thing with Kaido is that I think I could help him finish the job. Yeah, I mean, I like a dragon, to be fair. So I think I'm going to put him in A. Like, he's handsome, he's good looking, he's very strong, and I think I could kill him if needed.
For me, you're not going to believe this. He's going an S. Kaido just ticks way too many boxes for me, man. He can turn into a dragon. He's a pathetic drunk who cries and flirts. Yeah, he turned a nation into a weapons factory and enslaved them all. But you know, none of us are perfect.
And like, would you rather your weapons were sourced ethically?
Imagine coming home to Kaido and like he's like drunk and crying and it's like, honey, did you try and killing yourself again? And he goes, yeah. All right, we've got one more left. His name is Blackbeard. And as you can see...
He's got bitches.
As you can see, he gets bitches. He's kind of like styled out. I do like his fit.
Yeah.
His name is Teach. That's his actual name. He was on a guy called Whitebeard's crew, funny enough. Whitebeard is basically like, he basically just adopts a bunch of boys.
But like in a nice way, because I just need to confirm, because we've...
In a nice way,
Yeah.
in a nice... Apart from Doflamingo, when it's found family, it's wholesome. But what he did on the crew was he killed a crewmate. His whole thing is basically, he's got a devil fruit. His devil fruit is like, I actually don't remember the name of his devil fruit. His devil fruit is just black.
Do you know anything about this character?
I know, well, he's like around, but he's not around. But his devil fruit is basically like black hole. This man is honestly pretty terrifying, I will not lie. There's not much more to say. In the current day, he's just once again enslaved. There's honestly a bit of a pattern in terms of being a one-piece villain and enslaving a nation.
We haven't gone very many without it.
He's not my type, but there's an appeal that people like about him. He's like a pirate, you know?
So I got a few comments about Mr. Blackbeard. So number one, I love how hairy he is. I think that's hair.
Yeah, that's her.
Number two, I like that he murdered someone at a young age on his ship, the cook, because I feel like that shows he's driven from a young age. Like he knows what he wants. So he's gonna go in C, because like he's just mid. Like yes, he's very powerful and stuff. Yes, he's got good drip, but there's nothing special.
To you, I mean, he's terrifying.
To you.
To me, I agree with you. I think he's in C.
Like he's not bad, he's not good,
He's not my type. He's got a lot of joy and whimsy, I'll say that much. And with that, that's it. Those are all the anime only villains that we've gotten so far. The lists are looking good, I will admit. I think these are good looking lists.
I'm gonna go on the I've seen the subreddit, the One Piece power scaling subreddit. I'm gonna post it and say, look at this new power scaling video.
Say that and put my screenshot of my list there. And because Akainu's an E, don't explain. And then watch it just turn into chaos. Big love to everyone watching. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for listening, even though you know virtually nothing about any of these people, any of these characters. Now you know.
I feel like I learned a lot. Like nothing useful, but I learned a lot.
Actually, no, do not thank you so much for joining. Never come back again. I never want you back on my channel.
Like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button. Like you smashed Doflamingo and Big Mom.
Dislike, negative comment, and unsubscribe. Remove a comment.
Nice one. Enjoy going through that.
Yeah, I'm now going to lock you back in the basement, by the way. So thank you. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining, and I will see you again whenever I make next. Bye-bye.